All right, good morning, everybody. Welcome to another live stream here on both Facebook Live and on YouTube. Good morning, Jay, Drew, Mark. Hopefully, you guys are all doing well. Glad to be with you guys once again here today. We're going to be talking about a few of the hidden features inside of the VectorVest Stock Advisory app and showing you guys how to get the most benefit out of them there. So before we jump into it, though, make sure that the audio, the video is coming through fine for you guys. Let me know in the comments or let me know in the chat if you're over on our YouTube channel. Let me know that everything's coming through for you guys. Once we have confirmation of that, as always, we'll start to take a look at what's going on in the market today. And then we'll dive into our topic of discussion. And then, as always, we'll finish off with the fan favorite of showing you how to analyze any stock that you want to take a look at in less than 10 seconds. Nowhere else out there can make analyzing your stocks faster and easier than VectorVest, and especially the Stock Advisory app. So hopefully you guys are all excited. If you're over on our YouTube, don't forget, as always, smash that like button, share this with all your friends. If you're not subscribed, click that subscribe button, turn on notifications. If you're over on our YouTube or on our Facebook page, make sure to give this video a thumbs up. Also, if you're not already following our VectorVest Facebook page, make sure to do that after today's stream. That way you get notified of any new content that we have coming out and you get live updates on when our training sessions or when our streams will be live. So that way you guys can join in a little bit easier there. Good morning, Julie. Tuning in from the UK. Glad to have you here today. All right. Cheers to green lights. I know, right? Also, I know if you guys, I see a lot of Jockey Club members in here. So before we get started on that, I just want to throw this out there. I know Glenn, he said he made mention of it, but just wanted to let you guys know. Over on our YouTube page, I did do a video last night about the Jockey Club. Well, not really about the Jockey Club, more about some of the trading techniques that I go over in the Jockey Club when I host there. So if you guys haven't already seen that, go check that out. If you have any feedback on your experiences from the Jockey Club, especially some of the day trades that we've done, make sure to leave those in the comments in that video there as well. All right, good morning from Gulfport, Mississippi. Hopefully you're safe there, Cigar. Glad to have you here today. All right, so with that, let's go ahead, jump right into it here today, take a look at what's going on, and then move into our topic of discussion. So right now, as we've mentioned just a few moments ago, we are 2 ticks into the green, therefore the market is somewhat bullish, and VectorVest advocates buying safe, undervalued stocks that are rising in price at this time. If we scroll down a little bit more, we get the color guard and we can see the green lights come from both the price and the buy to sell ratio. So when you see those green lights, it tells us the price is moving higher day over day and week over week. And as we can see, price is higher day over day and week over week. The RT still remains below 1 for the time being, so therefore the short-term trend in the market is slightly down, but picking back up some momentum here, heading back towards that level of 1, hopefully higher here. Then finally, the buy to sell ratio, not only moving higher day over day and week over week, but also finally crossing back above 1, telling us that there's more buy rated stocks in a database than sell rated stocks in a database, or that there's overall market strength here. And then these 3 indicators are comprised to come up with the MTI, or the market timing indicator. This is cast on a scale of 0 to 2, and it looks at the underlying trend of the market. So above 1 tells us the underlying trend of the market is up. If it was below 1, that would tell us the underlying trend of the market is down. And then next we get the trend column, where typically we show 2 parts of the trend each and every day. As you can see back on September 1st or yesterday, the first part of the trend column is looking at the primary wave, or simply the weekly trend of the market. Since we have that confirmed up potentially as of right now, that means the primary wave is up. And then the second part would show the MTI, and as we saw, the MTI is above 1, so the second part of that trend would also be up. Now, as you can see here, because the app does show streaming data just on a 15-minute delay, you can see right now at this current time, if the market closed right now, we would finish the session off with a confirmed up signal, and the confirmed up is our most conservative timing signal. It's our last signal we get to get into the market and our last signal we get to get out. So seeing that there tells us that if everything continues to move higher the way it's going so far, we will potentially end up with a confirmed up call by the end of today's session. So for all you conservative investors out there, could be a great opportunity to jump on board or to finally load up a position or 2 in your portfolio. All right, so we've got that. Last but not least, we always like to take a look at the advanced declines here. The advanced declines is something you want to look at on a daily basis, especially if you're planning on getting into a new position. When looking at the advanced declines, you want to see a 2-to-1 bias in a certain direction. So if you're looking to buy stocks long, you want to see twice as many stocks advancing than declining. And if the market was moving lower, you'd want to see twice as many stocks declining than advancing. The reason why is because when you have twice as many stocks advancing than declining, or at least a minimum of a 2-to-1 ratio there, that tells us the probabilities are in our favor that if we got into a new stock today, that we would be on the winning side, and giving us that little bit of cushion baked into it right out of the gate there. All right, let's see. Let me make sure I get caught up on everything. Good morning, Chris. Good morning, home. Let's see. Good morning, Thomas. Hopefully you guys are all doing well. Hey, Jay, glad to have you here on both sides here today. Drew, hopefully you're doing well. Middle Tennessee is wet money. Yeah. Hopefully everybody, who is out in the hurricane area, disaster area, hopefully you guys are all safe. Hopefully you guys are all doing well. And just wanted to let you guys know that I am keeping you guys in my prayers and thoughts. So keep us updated on how you guys are doing, because we do want to make sure that everybody here in VV Nation, or the high flyers here at VectorVest, our followers, our community that we built, is safe and doing well at the same time here. All right, so with that being said, we've seen that we do have twice as many stocks advancing than declining. We've seen 2 green lights in the color guard there. We have a potential confirmed up. Today's looking like a pretty good bullish day in the market. Looking at the major indices, the Dow is up almost 0.5%. NASDAQ's up about 0.3%. S&P's up about 0.4%. Overall, the VectorVest composite up about 0.5%. Good morning, Maria. Hopefully you're doing well here today. Okay, so getting into our topic of discussion. There's two key features that I feel like get overlooked quite a lot here. We talk a lot about the portfolios. We talk a lot about the premium watch list, the different stock pick ideas, the screener, watch list just in general. But there's two features that can actually make your life a lot easier and a lot less time consuming when you're an active investor, an active trader. So the first one that we want to look at here today is the recent alerts, or just alerts in general. Alerts are something that we've had here for quite some time, but most people probably overlook it and don't realize that they have that ability to use, and can actually help save yourself a lot of time. So let's go ahead into the watch list here first and foremost. Come down to the watch list we created just a few days ago, or just a week or two ago. Where was it? Here it is, 826. There we go. So here's a watch list of stocks that you guys put in, that you guys wanted to see here, and we use this as our example. And now, one of the things we want to do is take this one step further. If we like a stock in here, and we have, let's say, a stop set on it, or we wanted to find a new entry point, let's say you did some technical analysis, you were looking at support resistance, take PRFT. We'll just go take a look at the graph real quick. Let's say, you wanted to see it pull back to that 110 range, and because based off your analysis, that looked like a good opportunity to jump on board, gives it a healthy pullback without giving back too much. And you thought 110 was going to be a good entry point to get back in, or to get into it if you hadn't gotten into it already. And that was where support is. So you wanted to be notified. You didn't want to have to constantly pull out your phone and check your app, or check the stock price minute by minute, or as much as you possibly can throughout the day. So therefore, using the alerts can help save yourself a lot of time and make your investing a lot easier. So let's go. We like PRFT. Next to the price in the upper right hand corner, you see that little bell icon. If we tap on the bell, this is where we can set up a new alert. So we move this down, let's say to 110. You can either use the arrows here, or you can just tap on it, put in your own price. There we go. And you're looking for the price to cross below or above, whichever one you wanted to do. Right now, we're looking for below to see if we can hit that price point. Let's say that was a support line. We wanted to see if it could hit that point and then start to move higher from there. So we set that target right there, line in the sand, telling us, hey, this has met the price that we were looking at getting into it. So therefore, now is the time to pay attention to it. This way, it alleviates all that time that you're spending where you're pulling up your phone all throughout the workday, checking out what the stock is doing just to see where it's at or see if it's gotten to that point. This is a way that helps you avoid having to spend that much time and makes it a lot easier to be able to do the things you'd want to be doing, whether you're out, getting outdoors or doing some activity or working, whatever it may be. This will allow you to set that alert so that way frees up your time to be able to do the things that you have to get done in life, without having to constantly monitor stock day by day, minute by minute. Ninja's asking, is this recorded? Yes, this is recorded, Ninja. All the recordings are automatically uploaded on our YouTube page. Also on our Facebook page, they are saved there as well. So you can go back and watch your replays at any time on either platform there. All right, so once you've got that set up, simply just tap on create. And there you go. Now all of your alerts are set up. You go here, you have your alert listing that you can do, so you can customize it or change it. Let's go back to here. Let's say you wanted to move it down even lower. Let's go up a little bit. Moving down a little bit too much. Could probably just use the simple price to do that, but let's say right there, 160 or 106.50. So you customize it, you looked at that analysis once again, you realized maybe I was off a little bit by a few cents or by a couple of bucks. Maybe I should just simply, move it down a little bit, try to find a better price point. So you've updated it, click on update. There you go. Now your alert is set here. Do you get notifications in email or in-app only? Let's see if you can do, if you come down here, go to the settings. You can do notification settings. And these are all in-app notifications. If you're on the desktop, you can do email notifications. But on the app, it's just in-app notifications. So it pops up on your phone telling you telling you that, so-and-so has met the alert that you set up. Pablo is asking what the cheapest subscription price is. Pablo, if I'm not mistaken, you can go to our website and check it out. I believe it's $4.99 for the basic. Then you have the essential, and this is the premium. Premium is $20 a month, I believe. And what you see here is all done on the premium version. So, it's using the highest version of the mobile. The next step from the mobile is going into the desktop app, which has a lot more functionality as well, and comes with this included. If you're looking for the cheapest desktop subscription, which would include the app, that would be end of day, and I believe that is either $59 or $69 a month, but it gives you access to everything there. All right, so we've got our alerts set up. Now, that is one way of using the alert, looking for an entry on a stock that you're interested in. Well, if we go back to the watch list, go here, pull it back up. Let's say we got into mRNA. And we've been into it for a while, and we had, let's say, we didn't sell off at that very first point. We wanted to sell off at a level of resistance around that point of around let's call it 475. So we wanted to set up alerts here rather than setting up with your broker, where a lot of your stops get sent to market makers, people who can move the markets. People have fear, especially with all the news coming out over this last 8 months, 9 months or so. And you don't want to set up physical stops with your broker. You want to set up mental stops. Well, VectorVest will make it easier. So once again, we go back to the main screen. Tap on the little bell notification, create a new alert, close that out. Let's say 375. Or wait, 475. Whoops. There we go. Say done. And now we've got that alert set up. You could put it a little bit lower. That way, if you wanted to get into you wanted to be notified a little bit earlier to start paying attention to it a little closer, you could obviously change that to whatever you wanted. But here now, once you've created it, it will send you that alert letting you know, hey, your alert has been met. The stock has crossed above that 475 threshold. So therefore, that gives you that notification that, hey, I need to pay closer attention to it, or I need to go set up, some type of trailing stop, whatever it may be, to make sure that you're locking in your profit. This is a great tool that can really help you out and save yourself a lot of time, because realistically, that's exactly what the VectorVest Stock Advisory app is designed to do, is to help make your investing life, if you will, a lot simpler, a lot easier, more time efficient, and more productive in general. Let's see. Well worth the price of admission, if you ask me. I appreciate that, Mark. All right, so Claire, I just answered that. You can go back and watch the replay, get that answer right there. I've already answered that. You can go to our website as well and check out the pricing and all that there. All right, so that's two different ways of being able to utilize the alerts to help notify you when you should either be looking at a stock that you're interested in getting into, waiting for a pullback, or letting you know when you should start paying closer attention to it to make sure that you can lock your profit in, especially if you set it for your target for your stop criteria. Alerts are only set by value. Yes, they are set by price. You set the alert based off price. So if you do your analysis, let's say technical analysis, support resistance is one of the easiest, more common examples that a lot of people are familiar with. So that's why I chose support resistance here, but you could choose really whatever you wanted to. But yeah, let's say you use support resistance, you could set that alert exactly where that support line is or that resistance line is, depending on what type of alert you're wanting to set up there. And then if you change your mind, or if you change your analysis, let's say you realize you didn't set up something quite right, you wanted to go back and change it, obviously you have that ability to do so. So that is the alert section here. One of the easiest, simplest tools that, in my opinion, gets overlooked quite a lot. And now the second the second tool that we want to focus on here today, and this is one that we really haven't discussed since 9 months ago, since January when the feature first got released, and that is widgets. Widgets are something that is unique to iOS in general, but you do have the ability with Android as well. But widgets are an extremely powerful tool that allows you to save yourself time, see what or get the information you're looking for without having to get into the app or sign in and go throughout the process of pulling up the app, logging in, clicking on your watch list, checking out the stock. So if we go out of here and then we just simply hold down the main screen to get the edit home screen option, slide it over to the right. The iPad is a little bit different than the phone. Phone, you just hold it down, you get this little plus symbol in the upper left-hand corner. Hey there, Jeff. Hopefully you're doing well. Glad to have you here today. And then you scroll down to this widget section, stock advisory. You can choose from a number of different widgets that you wanted to create. Let's say we wanted to choose the watch list here though. So we'll go add widget. And we've got that. We'll move that up to be able to see it a little easier. There we go. And if we tap on it, we can then change what we're looking for. So from premium lists, we can do my watch list. We can go to that watch list we were just looking at. And then tap on the screen, say done. And now, without even having to sign into the app, we can instantly see some of the top movers right here. So that way it helps save yourself time. Instead of having to open up your device, click on the item, or you click on the section, select the watch list or select the scan or premium watch list, whatever it is. This can help, reduce that time factor, especially if you're busy and you're working and you don't want to pull out your phone and go like this the whole time. You can just simply, pull up your phone and then just swipe to the left and you can get that information. Take a quick look at it, keep an eye on it throughout the day without having to actually fully get into the app. Let's see which widgets. So Drew, those are the widgets that we're looking at here. Another nice tool, actually, and we can even customize this more since that's really at the very bottom here. Let's go edit widget. Actually, oops. Get out of settings, edit home screen, move this all the way up. Slowly but surely making our way there. It's a slow process. There we go. All right. So then we can go out here, go to another one, add another stock advisory, and then go to the market timing. Add the widget. Move this here. Move that back up. There we go. Say done. And now we can instantly see the market timing directly from the widget section without having to actually sign into the app. We can also see our stocks. So out of them, if we go here, get back out of here, go to edit this this widget here, edit the widget, rank in ascending, rank by biggest winners. Let's go. What do we want to do here today? Let's go percent gain loss. It'll resort the list. Actually, percent gain loss. Let's go edit the widget. Change it from percent gain loss. Let's do VST. Because VST is a consistent, reliable indicator. There we go. So now, we come into or let's say we're at work like I currently am. You pull up your device. All of a sudden, you just swipe to the side. You get these widgets. You can see market timing, which tells us, okay, the market's somewhat bullish. Maybe today's a good day to be buying. And then we can see what stocks are moving the highest out of the watch list that we've been building from prior weeks of stocks that we're interested in getting into. This will seriously reduce a lot of the time it takes to have to manage your portfolio to be able to make the decisions you want to make. So if you're somebody, what VectorVest would describe as a midnight cowboy, you're somebody who's working all day throughout the day, don't have much time to watch stocks constantly throughout the day, these two features, whether it's the alerts or these widgets, can help drastically save yourself a lot of time. So that way you can still make the decisions throughout the day or make the trades throughout the day. You did your planning that night. You have your plan set in place for that day. These will help you follow your objectives, follow your plan without having to spend a lot of time doing so, and being able to take advantage of it, especially if you're somebody who's working constantly throughout the day as well. So if you guys have any questions on these two features, let me know in the comments or in the chat. I'd be glad to answer them. Or if you guys have, other ideas for widgets or alerts that you want to see, let me know your thoughts in the comments or in the chat as well. Because as I've stated many times in the past, your guys' feedback that you guys give here every Thursday during our streams does go, I do compile all of that and do bring that to our development team periodically to help improve the app and help make everything, the most functional, most diverse tool for your investing out there. Are these widgets and alerts? Yes, they are. Available for non-premium accounts. Yes. Savara, apologize for that. Yes, they are available for any versions of the mobile app. There's standard functionality in it. So if I'm not mistaken, they are widgets and the alerts are all part of the basic VectorVest stock advisory app. Can you show how to get to the widget area? Sure. So if you're using iPhone is a little bit different because I'm on an iPad. Basically, what you would do, Julie, is when you're on your main screen, you hold down on an iPhone, you would hold down on the app like you're going to edit your home screen. And when you click on edit home screen, here I get it a little bit differently. Edit home screen. When you're in the edit home screen, you have this plus symbol in the upper left-hand corner. That's where you will see the ability to add widgets. And this gives you the widget screen, just like it does for the iPhone as well. Come down to the stock advisory and it'll give you a list of all the widgets that you can add. Once you've added them, just simply click on done in the upper right, and that'll finalize it there for you. Percent gain loss will not trigger an alert. No, Mark. So right now it's based off of strictly price. So you could set that up. Let's say you do, you do your analysis at night and then have your plan set for what stocks you're interested in if the market moves higher, or what stocks you're interested in if the market moves lower. Set your alerts up, and then all throughout the day, go about your day. And if you get that alert, you know that, you know what to do from that alert, and you can take advantage of it then. How do you resize the widget? I don't think there's ways. Let me see. I know you can customize the widget. I don't know if you can resize it though. Edit stack. Let's see. Edit. Yeah, there's no way of changing the size on them. Unfortunately, they're set to a certain default size for the widgets themselves. Yeah, hopefully that helps. Advanced decliners would be great. Yeah, actually, that's a great idea. I will definitely make note of that, JM, and get that on my list of features or new features we want to see, or new improvements we want to see with them. All right, so with that, that's really the main things we wanted to talk about. Two features that have been in the app for quite some time, but simply, in my opinion, just get overlooked. They can be extremely helpful if you know that they're there and you know how to use them, and can really help save yourself a lot of time when making your investment decisions, or when just investing or trading in general. So hopefully you guys, found today's session helpful. Hopefully you guys start to utilize those more, play around with them a little bit, get comfortable with them, because they can really help improve your investing and help you save a lot of time, or be able to do things you'd rather be doing. So with that, if you guys have any stocks that you want to take a look at, now is the time to put them in the comments, put them in the chat, And while you're doing that, if you haven't already hit the like button yet, if you haven't already shared this out with all your friends and family, what are you waiting for? Go ahead, smash that like button right now for me. The app has come a long way. Thank you. You're welcome, Jay. Glad you enjoy it. All right. Mark, I think this is a wrong stream for that one. All right. So we've got a few stocks coming in. So what we're going to do is simply tap on the icon in the upper right, the magnifying glass, and then just simply start to type in our stocks. So as always, with Jay coming in first, we're going to start off with Extraoff. How to do it there. Looking at Extraoff. Extraoff has had some pretty big announcements from the CEO, from the company in general, where one of the biggest things that I'm excited about is they're going to be starting a live stream or a Q&A session every single month to interact more with their investors. I'm really excited about that, especially being an Extraoff investor. But the analysis, because it is more of a startup, they haven't really developed, or they haven't really started getting into the commercial or sales aspect of things yet. It is a speculative company, which is what the analysis shows. So right now they have poor long-term potential, a lot of risk involved with it. It has been steadily moving lower. Overall, it's not a favorable stock, but it is a speculative play. Take it as you will. All right. Let's go ahead and take a look at that. Visa, good long-term potential, less risk associated with it. However, right now is not the time to be long into it. Therefore, the stock is a good stock, just not the right timing. Can we set up alerts on model portfolios for buy and sell alerts? So Savara, I have actually introduced that, a lot of new features utilizing the alerts. Right now, the alerts tools are the alert tool inside the stock advisory app is just simply based off of price movement. But I did bring a plan that I have been working on here in the background, on new functionality, new features based on your guys' requests and your guys' input. I did present that to our development team. I guess it's been about maybe 3 or 4 weeks ago at this point. And that was one of the things is, expanding upon the alerts functionality. So hopefully they take that to heart and they start working on that. And hopefully we have some new updates on that for you guys in the near future. I don't have an exact time. I'm not, saying that is going to be what's coming out very soon, but I have presented that that idea to our development team to start working on. All right. So there's Visa. Let's go ahead. Apps, APPS. So apps. You have great long-term potential. You have less risk associated with this stock. You're in a slight uptrend right now on a short-term basis. Looking at the longer-term basis, I'd be a little careful. You're seeing a pattern of lower highs, lower lows over the last 6 months roughly. Overall, it's a good stock. I'd be careful about that timing and keep your eye on the RT right now. All right, let's see. TGT. Target, great long-term potential, less risk associated with this stock. However, the timing, it is slightly in an uptrend, but when we talk about timing every single week, typically we want to see the RT at a level of 1.1 or higher. At 1.06, yes, it's still in a short-term uptrend, but that short-term uptrend is relatively weak. Therefore, when you see that below 1.1, you're definitely wanting to put your focus on that and keep a close eye on it, maybe tighten up your stops. Overall, it's a great stock. The timing, if you're a long-term investor on it, maybe you're willing to ride it out a little bit, but if you're a short-term trader, 1.06 is not enough momentum to the upside to really make this, an opportunity to jump on board with. All right. NVIDIA, great long-term potential, less risk associated with it. You have a really strong short-term uptrend. Overall, stock's definitely favorable here. UMC, good long-term potential, less risk associated with it. You have a really strong short-term uptrend. So overall, stock's favorable. KLIC, let's go pull that up. KLIC has great long-term potential, less risk associated with it. You're in a strong uptrend. So overall, definitely a favorable play here. IMPUI, there we go. Platinum. good long-term potential, solid fundamentals, so less risk associated with it. However, right now, not the time to be long into it. Right now with an RT of 0.66, it does show that it is in a steady decline on a short-term basis. Therefore, good stock, not the right time. TMST. Let's go take a look at this one here. So good long-term potential, a little bit more risk than the average stock out there. However, it is in a steady decline or a slight decline currently. Overall, good stock, good long-term potential, but does have a little bit more risk and in a short-term decline currently. WST, good long-term potential, solid fundamentals, steady, consistent uptrend, strong uptrend. So yeah, overall the stock's definitely going to be favorable here. Let's see, GSAT. I was recently looking at this one a few days ago as a trade in one of my in the employee contest portfolio, and I was trading this quite a lot. So this one is a speculative play. You have poor long-term potential, a lot of risk associated with it. However, you do have a pretty strong uptrend on a short-term basis. Overall, the stock's about average. This is going to be a momentum play, a day trader's paradise, if you will. So take it as you will. If you're not a day trader or not a aggressive trader in general, this is going to be one you're most likely going to stay away from. All right, let's see. DKNG, poor long-term potential, a lot of risk associated with it, so more of a speculative play still at this point. However, you do have some decent short-term momentum. So overall, the stock's about average, slightly better than average. But with the short-term momentum, if you're not a speculative trader, stay away. But if you are somebody who is okay with high-risk momentum plays, this could definitely be an opportunity here. UPST, poor long-term potential, a lot of risk associated with it. So once again, another speculative play here. Looking at the timing, 1.84, really strong short-term uptrend. So therefore, obviously, the stock's going to be favorable. ZM, good long-term potential, but does incur a lot of risk associated with that long-term potential. You're in a steady decline right now. They had a bad earnings. Overall, the stock's about average. You know, the heyday was 2020 when everybody was in lockdowns. At this point, with people finally starting to move away from lockdowns or going against them, they're gonna have a hard time getting back to those highs that they were at back in 2020. Let's see, CDND. Oh, CDND, not fine. Oh, CDNS. That's why. There we go. CDNS, good long-term potential, less risk associated with it, so solid fundamentals, really strong short-term uptrend. So overall, the stock's definitely favorable. ZIM has good long-term potential, does have a little bit more risk associated with it though. Really strong short-term uptrend, so overall, stock's favorable. And then last but not least, we'll finish off with the big one here today. GME, there we go. So GameStop is more of a speculative play here. You have poor long-term potential. You do have a little bit more risk associated with it. Timing is still at 0.9, so slight downtrend on a short-term basis. Probably going to be seeing that change very, very soon. Overall, not a favorable stock, but as we know, this stock has nothing to do with fundamentals right now, has nothing to do with anything other than what's going on in the background and how the market works and how some stocks could potentially be manipulated. So this has a completely different movement than the average stock out there. So I'm just going to leave it at that. All right. So that's going to be it for our analysis here today. We go back to the homepage. We are still 2 ticks into the green. The market is still somewhat bullish, and we advocate buying safe, undervalued stocks that are rising in price at this time. Scrolling down, taking a look, RT has still not been able to cross above 1, But the buy to sell ratio is still picking up. Price has been picking up ever since we started. MTI also picking up since we started today's session. Looking at the advanced declines, advances 62.5% roughly, up 26 or 27% down, clearly meeting that 2-to-1 bias that we like to see. Taking a look at the major indices, the Dow's up about 0.4%, same as the NASDAQ, same as the S&P. The VectorVest composite up about 0.6%, however. So that shows us most likely the only major indice that we didn't look at out of those is the Russell. And that tells us the smaller cap or low dollar stocks or more aggressive speculative plays are taking a big push here today, moving the markets higher. And that can usually be a early indication that investors are willing to take more risk on and be less risk averse. So that way they can start to really, and if you see those, you're going to typically see the other major indices moving in favor as well. All right. Appreciate that, Jay. Glad you could be here today. Catch you all on Trading Thursdays. Yeah, and for anybody who's not familiar with this, over on our YouTube page, for everybody who's on our YouTube channel right now with us, at 2 p.m. Eastern today, we have Glenn Tompkins, another senior instructor, such as or like myself, that has his Trending Thursdays. So if you want to keep up to date with what's going on in the market, what the major headlines are that are impacting the market, make sure to head over to our YouTube channel. Tune in for that 2 o'clock session where he does a phenomenal job and gives you a breakdown of all the news and how to take advantage of it from a stock play perspective as well. So until next time, thank you everybody for tuning in here today. If you haven't already, smash that like button, share this with all your friends. If you're on our YouTube page and you haven't already subscribed, make sure to subscribe to that channel as well. And with that, hope you all have a great rest of your trading day. Be safe out there. Have a great long weekend. Happy early Labor Day to everybody before the weekend. And with that, make sure to be here at 11 a.m. Eastern next Thursday as we kick off our next stream. So take care, be safe, have a great weekend. See you guys next week. Bye for now, everybody.